All right, beautiful beings. I was intended to share a message, and the intention is this reaches the 144, those that claimed leadership. And I'm going to say this is going to be a very transparent message. It's going to be sent with love, but also dripping in truth. And so if you are not ready to hear it, then I'm just going to say go ahead and keep scrolling, because this is going to be for those that have eyes to see and ears to hear the truth right now. So I want to touch a little bit on the collective energetic theme that's moving through. It is not the only one, but it is very present. And it is around lack, scarcity, fear, and financials. Okay? So you may be experiencing different things in your reality right now that are triggering a lot of stories around. Maybe it's money, maybe it's bills, maybe it's even, it could be any of the things. And this isn't the only area, but there's stories coming up. And it's very active in the field. And what I wanted to share around this is if you are buying in, if you are contributing your energy, your time, if you are choosing fear over faith, you are contributing your energy to the old world structures. And I'm going to share this. All of the energetics right now are leading to an energetic collapse of the control system around financials. That is coming down the trajectory. There's going to be a big shift in 1 year, and it's not just that. It's going to be many things, but I'm going to stick with this piece because it's present and active. If you have not listened to my other message about old world constructs and paradigms of reality, we need to look at where we're contributing our energy to. Where are we contributing and reestablishing the old way of being, the old state of consciousness, where we're letting it dictate our choices, our reality, our experience, because it's keeping old world structures and old states of consciousness active and alive. And you're giving your power away. So those are the old world structures: lack, scarcity, poverty, consciousness. It's all consciousness. It's all energy. It's being created through you. It's being activated right now. The other piece to this, New Earth. The New Earth frequencies, I want you to just even tune into the words I'm going to say: wealth, prosperity, abundance, vitality, life. Okay? Which one are you operating from? Which one are you establishing in your reality? It's a frequency, it's a state of consciousness, and it's going to be so important for what's created moving forward to choose what you're creating. You are writing the story through you right now. You are the writer. You hold the pen. You are creating it. So that's the first piece. The second piece that I want to share is what's collectively moving through leadership right now. And so many people have claimed and said, yes, I'm here for this. Yes, I will do this. And even if you don't remember, I'm going to give you the verbal confirmation. Before we incarnated, before we came into a human vessel, we said we were going to fulfill something. If you are listening to me, you raised your hand and said, yes, I will come here and do it. Now, I'm going to give the analogy, and for my people that were athletic, maybe played sports, and even those that just, I think this concept will go along all lines right now. The example I'm going to give is my daughter's soccer team. So we just moved through some stuff that is mirroring pretty prevalent, like what's moving through those that said they were going to lead, those that raise their hand. And what's happening from the point of view as a team. There was many kids that were not showing up to practice. They were not working with their team. They were not supporting their team. There's probably about 7 kids that were actually committed, the parents bringing their children committed, and the rest were just not showing up. And so we had a game, the last couple games, but the last game, big time. And there was no backup. There was no relief for the kids that were playing. People were not showing up to the games. They were not supporting their team. And it left the kids in the game being exhausted, tired, but they were warriors. I'm going to say this, they kicked ass regardless. And then there was this whole other piece around, there's also, the league was supposed to not be putting competitive teams against our kids, and they did so. And so that's another piece I'm going to touch on. So what's collectively happening within leadership, the 144 that said yes, some are not showing up to practice. Some are not doing the work. And I'm not judging or projecting, because even I got royally checked yesterday when I was supposed to share a message and God said, you said you were going to do this, and I didn't. I caved into my human and I wanted a hermit, and that's not what we're here for. We're not here to hide. We're not here to, we're here to show up. This is what we said. And so I am not judging or projecting. I am sharing a message in full transparency and truth. And so what's happening is people are dropping out. They're getting the messages. They're not acting on it. They are having moments where they step up and then they drop out again and choosing to forfeit. And I'm going to share another piece of truth, that we only get so many times of doing that before we forfeit our role, ultimately. And that can be a heavy one, if that's what the choice is, if that's what's chosen. What else was there around that? There's people that are not doing the work, that are projecting. If you are projecting onto other people, your brothers and sisters, you're not being supportive. I've had to deal with this week and had to show a few people out of my experience. If you're just floating in the cosmic wave and you've been awake and you haven't been doing what was required or what was asked of you, that's between you and God. I'm going to say that. And I know I'm running out of a little bit of time, but I want to just complete with this part of the message that I was asked to share. We said we would do this. We would clear the pathways for the next generation, that they wouldn't have to come back to a reality. So if you have children, if you have nieces and nephews, if you have grandchildren, and you are saying, no, I'm not going to do the work, you're passing it off to the next generation to do. That's pretty blatant. And let's just say that's not a priority of yours. I'm going to speak this one. You will come back and you will repeat the work you are not doing in this life. Now, whether that takes you this lifetime or 100 years down the line, would this be the experience that you're currently living, the one you want to return to? And then the message came in, was Groundhog's Day. Do you want to keep repeating history? Because what you're not doing the work around and what you're not acknowledging, you are repeating. Whether it takes 100 years or you can do it in this one. And so that was the message to be shared. I'm sending everyone so much love. And there's one more piece is, would this be the reality that you want to come back to? Is this what you want for the rest of the generation? That they come into a reality where all this shit that's going on now is still a part of this reality. We get to choose. The work that we do now contributes to the larger whole. So with that, beautiful souls, that message was intended to be shared. And I'm sending everybody so much love.